Hi everybody, and welcome to today's Saturday Sit. You are going to need, if you want to recreate this card, you're going to need your paper trimmer with a scoring blade. These are the ink pads I've used: Basic Gray, Pale Papaya, Mint Macaron, and Blushing Bride. I'm also using the hand-painted petals from the annual catalog because, we're getting to pretty much the end of the fall catalog, and a lot of things are not orderable, but I believe that this still is. And then let me give you the dimensions on the cardstock. This is a regular 5.5 by 8.5. And then you've got a piece of basic white standard 4 by 5.25. And then a piece that is 5.25 by, sorry, I'm looking at my notes, 2.25. And then this piece is, I forgot, let me see. It is 2.5 by 3.25. And then you've got the mats in Basic Gray for this piece. And then you're going to need a 1.25 inch strip by 5.25. And then a, how big is this one? 4.5 by 5.25. And then a piece of DSP. This is going to be 5 by, what did I just say? 2.25, and then 1 inch by 5.25. I believe that's 1 inch. Yep. Okay. So that is what you're going to need for this card. So what we're going to do is we are going to start. We made this card in my VIP club. It was a little bit different, but same exact design, just we used different cardstock. So what you're going to do is you are going to score this at, I want to make sure I know what I'm doing, 1.5. So go to your 1.5 line. And then remember, your scoring blade is the lighter. I'm going to score back and forth. And then we're going to go over, and you can score at 4.25 if you want to. I'm going to just lightly do it because I tend to want to, oh, and then you're done with your I can't even think of what it's called. Anyway, that thing. I tend to want to just do it this way. Unless it's a really thick card, then it's good. But so we're going to score that. And then we're going to score this fold, the 1.5 inch fold, inside the card like that. Then I'm going to put on the pieces of the basic white that I told you about. I'm going to use my Stampin' Seal. So you already see that it's kind of a fun fold, right? It's gonna have a unique look. And I'll show you the one that we did in the VIP club, which we used Eden's Garden on that one. So let me get this there. And then this long piece, which I believe was 2.5 by 5.25. That, come on. That is going to go in here, and I want to make sure I kind of line it up with this one, but, away from the edge, obviously, just like you would. I just kind of want these to line up, these edges, okay? Then this piece, we're going to fold that down, and I'm going to use tear and tape for that. Let me find the end. There we go. And I'm just going to do as close to the edge as I can here. Oh, why am I having so much trouble today? Tear and taping. There we go. And then one again on the other side, just at the end. This is going to form a little bit of a pocket. for your card. Okay, then take your pick tool to pick this off. So how's everybody doing today? Are you all excited for the new year? I'm ready. I don't know about you, but I'm ready. And when I say ready, I want 2021 to be over. Ready is, I guess, a relative term. So, all right. Now I'm going to take that thin piece of the Designer Series paper and I am going to mat it. If my fingers are going to let me do this, geesh. I am going to mat it onto the basic gray thin piece. And I'm using the Stampin' Seal, but of course, you know I really like the liquid glue also, which is right next to me. I just didn't grab it. And then you're going to want to center that and kind of look at yours. This pattern doesn't necessarily matter, but depending on how you cut the piece, this piece definitely seems to have a direction, in my opinion. So I'm going to center that on there. Add some more adhesive. Again, I'm watching my direction. And I'm going to center it onto this folded over piece so that it's pretty on the inside, right? And as you can see, you can now, like if you wanted to put in a gift card or money or something, you can slide that into this card. Now, right now, I'm not going to stamp anything on the inside, but certainly it would be great if you did. And you'll see there is placement issues. So you'll see that when the card is finished, where you're going to want to write. And then I'm taking the larger piece of the Designer Series paper. I love this paper. Love it, love it, love it. I'm going to be very sad when it goes away. Okay, I don't think this one really matters what direction it goes. It's got enough of it, and it's kind of all over the place flowers. And as you can probably guess, that's going to go on the front piece where the Blushing Bride goes. Fold it over. Right, like that. It's already really pretty, right? I mean, I just think pink and gray look really good together. I really like it. Okay, so now here's my little piece of basic white. And I am going to use a foam mat. And I probably should have something under it, but we're going to just fake it and see what happens. And I'm going to use basic gray. And I've got the large outline. And I also want you to see that on the image on the front is smaller than the actual image. As you can see, it is smaller. So this is a big one. So I'm going to turn the block over and ink it up like that. I just find that a little bit easier. I tend to, you can see, I tend to get ink everywhere. I am not the world's greatest stamper. I'll be the first one to admit that to you. Okay, now I'm going to set this on there. There you go. And I like that it's in the basic gray rather than black. It's just a little bit more, whoops, muted. And I think it looks really pretty like that. Plus it matches the basic gray. All right, now this is what's cool about this stamp set is everything has fillers. So I'm going to use the Blushing Bride. And I'm going to stamp, now this is whimsical, so don't expect it, it's not going to fill in this flower completely. It's just not gonna. It's gonna be pretty close, but you can see that it didn't fill it in completely, and that's okay. That's what it's supposed to look like. And then this is two little leaves, or two little flowers right here, and they can go in on top of these two right here. So I'm going to make these also in Blushing Bride. I got to move this closer to my face. I apologize. It's just easier for me. Even though it's whimsical, I want to be at least relatively in the right spot. Okay, so isn't that pretty? I mean, it's just a very sweet stamp set. I love it. And I'm kind of sort of matching what is on here. So now I'm going to take the pale papaya for the other flowers. And I want you to know there are 2 leaves. I'm going to be using both of those today. They're 2 different sizes, which is cool. And these flowers are also 2 different sizes. So this is for the big one. I don't know if I have it right. I have to kind of think about it. I think this is correct. Yeah, that looks right. Again, whimsical. It's not going to fit it perfectly. And then the one for this one. Let me see if I can get this one close to correct. There we go. So, and if you look at the designer series paper, you will see that it does not fill them in completely either. There's white spots and stuff. It seems to be filled in a little bit better than I did, but it's still really pretty. And then for the green, I am using Mint Macaron, which I'm going to be honest with you, I don't grab this color very often. And now I'm wondering why. Every time I use it, I think, why don't I use this more? And I got the colors for this from the back of the designer series paper where it tells you the colors. I mean, why think, right? So I'm using the big leaf with the bigger leaves. And I don't know that it matters which direction you stamp those in, but there you go. And then I'm going to use the little leaf for these double leaves. Now watch this. I'm going to stamp it once, huff on it, and then stamp the second one so it will be a little bit lighter and give it a little bit of dimension. This one is a full strength. And then I'm going to repeat what I did on the other one. And I'm guessing at which one I think is on top. I'm thinking this one is on top. I could be wrong. And then this one here. So see how easy that was? It was so easy, and it makes a beautiful, it's so pretty. And it matches our card. And then I had a thanks. I don't know what I did with it. I pulled it out. So give me just a second to find that. It probably fell off into, I've got piles here. Give me just one second while I look for that stamp for you. Okay, I found it. It was setting with another project that I have ready to do for you guys. I'm trying to get a little ahead of the game for 2022. So you are going to find that some of my videos are taped and some will be live. This one is a taped one. So I'm taking the thanks and I'm just sticking it there in the corner. I'm not worried that some of it's going to be a little bit off. It's okay. And it isn't perfect. It looks like I just suddenly stamped, you know, or wrote in thanks. That's why I love this stamp. It looks like you wrote it. And if any of you have received cards from me, you know my penmanship is horrendous. It's terrible. It's like I'm 5 years old. I used to have really good penmanship, and like in school, and you know, my teachers always really liked it. And then I started working in offices where I had to sign a bunch of stuff. And I just started scribbling really fast to get stuff out. And I have to tell you this is kind of funny. When I was about maybe 18, 19, I started working at Montgomery Ward's, for those of you who remember that store. And I had a person who was my supervisor in the women's department called Mrs. Hunt. And she used to sign, and she would make an H and then a line through the H all the way to the T. So there was no like UN in there. And I remember thinking to myself, because I was so worldly at that age, that she was just so pretentious. Now I'm a mess when I do my own. So now I get it. She was a busy woman. Okay, so now this is going to go right here. Cute, right? So I want to make sure that I don't put any adhesive past this line. So I'm just going to put my hand there just to remind myself. And I'm going to maybe put some adhesive down here and right there. And then you can put this anywhere you want. I like it personally in the center. I kind of try to sort of center it, but I'm not like, you know, center it this way. But you know how I feel about perfectionism. So there you go. There is your fun card. So remember I said you're going to want to watch where you write. So if you're going to write in this, maybe take a light pencil line, something you can erase really easily. And then you could write, you could even write here or whatever. So there you go. That is your card for Saturday Sip. It's kind of a fun fold card. And I hope that you liked it. Hope you are having a great, wonderful preparation for the new year. Bless you.